Pulls up for the tie. Got it. We're going to overtime. Steps up in the. Oh! And he is flat. Dedman takes the snap. Option play. Fakes the pitch. Dives. Touchdown. 14-yard score for the freshman quarterback.
Blocked by Woods. Monfrey's got her second kill of the night.
That's your boy right there, Chris Johnson. To McDaniel. Three-point attempt is good for Xavier McDaniel. Ahead to Jordan Pyle. Pyle lays it up and draws the foul.
Inside the Sullivan Center, getting set for today's non-conference basketball matchup between the Fighting Saints of St. Francis and the Bethel Pilots. Thanks for tuning in. Terry Maradona with you this afternoon. A rare Monday matinee as the Fighting Saints try to make it 10 in a row against NAIA opponents. St. Francis comes in at 11-3. They are 8-0 in conference this year. This is, again, back-to-back non-conference games now to end the non-conference season today and tomorrow, and then starting this weekend with the CCAC games the rest of the way. Bethel is 6-8 overall, and they're making their first appearance here in Joliet in 4 years, just about 4 years. Bethel has lost their last two to the Fighting Saints overall. Today could be a very interesting matchup. Doug Porter is in his first season as head coach of Bethel, and St. Francis is going to get a test with Doug Porter's bunch today. And if you've ever seen the Saints take on Olivet Nazarene, then you know what I mean. Porter was a longtime coach of the Tigers, conference rival of the Fighting Saints, and well known for his up-tempo style of offense, his wacky substitutions. Get ready to see a lot of three-pointers from Bethel today, and that's not such a bad thing for the Fighting Saints. They're among the best defensive teams in the country, particularly when it comes to three-point shots. They're holding opponents to only 26% on three balls this year. For St. Francis, the key to this one is to take advantage of the pace and put some points on the board. They've been struggling to score of late, but as I said, they have won 9 consecutive against NAIA opponents, so not too much to complain about at the moment as far as this season has gone so far for St. Francis. They look for their 10th straight win against an NAIA foe in just a couple of minutes. We're going to get you the starting lineups in just a few moments, but right now it sounds like Dave Laquetta is getting us set for the national anthem. So I'll step aside for a moment for the anthem, and we'll have the lineups and opening tip. In Joliet, the starting lineups are on the floor, and the Saints are getting set to get this thing underway, led by Caitlin Alward, the senior center, who for the second time this season has been named the CCAC Player of the Week, coming off of an impressive showing against Robert Morris back on the 21st of December. She scored 18 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and that was just enough to get over the hump against an Eagles team that gave the Saints all they could handle. St. Francis won that one 56-55 a week ago Saturday. They haven't played since. Steve Brooks' squad got some time off over the holidays and still in the holiday season here, but ready to get going once again here in a Monday afternoon contest. Bethel on the floor in blue. Saints in gold. Joining them in just a moment, St. Francis will be shooting from right to left here in the first half, with Bethel going from left to right. It's Jordan Pyle going up against Savannah Feenstra on the opening tip. Tip is won by Feenstra, and Bethel starts it off with the basketball. Bethel will move quickly, and they do here as Leah Sims is called for a foul. Taylor Pasquale very quickly going to the free throw line. Pasquale took it quickly to the hoop, gotten Sims's way, or I guess vice versa. Sims got in her way. Called for her first foul just 7 seconds into the game. Pasquale, a good shooter, but not on this one. She misses on the opening free throw. Just her 5th free throw attempt of the season. She had made 3 of the previous 4. Taylor Pasquale averages 4 points per game. That was only, I guess it won't count as a shot because she was fouled, but it would have been only her 12th 2-point attempt of the season as she misses the free throw. 80% of her shots entering play today had been 3-pointers. That one a 2-point shot. She missed it, drew the foul, and missed both free throws. So now St. Francis gets their first chance on offense. Paige Gieske at the free throw line, kicks it out to Shadrian McDaniel. With 12 on the shot clock, Jordan Pyle throws it away. Giesche's able to track it down. It was tipped, so no backcourt violation, but only 6 on the shot clock now. Alward, corner, 3-point attempt. Misses the rim, but it's denied by Jordan Pyle, who has just enough time to put it back in. Pyle has the first 2 points of the game, 2-0. A drive, a block, and a foul. Gieske called for the foul this time, knocking Jessica Irwin off the ball, and Irwin goes to the free throw line. St. Francis leads 2-0, but we're 45 seconds in, and already 2 players on St. Francis have committed fouls. That one on Gieske sends Irwin to the line. Irwin is 68% foul shooter. It's on the first, so it's the first point of the game for Bethel. They're now 1 for 3 as a team from the line. Second foul shot from Irwin is good. And that's a big part of the game for Bethel as well, getting themselves to the free throw line. They've attempted 338 free throws this season in only 14 games plus a minute. Jordan Pyle lobs it off to Caitlin Alward. Into the corner, Sims, wide open look, three-pointer, rims out. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Bethel. Stays here with the Fighting Saints. And for the first time today, we'll see 5 new players for Bethel. 63 seconds into the game, and you can expect a lot of this from the Pilots today. They'll go 5 for 5 on the subs with regularity every minute or two. On the floor right now, Emma Prince. Katie Kinker is out there. I think that was Kinker who knocked that ball away. Sydney Williams up there as well. Stays with the Fighting Saints along the sideline, 11 to shoot. Maggie DeBoy also on the floor for Bethel. And Macy Heimlich, 6 to shoot. They're having trouble holding on to the ball, I should say, is fired from the three-point line. It's an air ball from Jordan Pyle, and it's going Bethel's way. So good, strong defense from Bethel. He tied up in knots, St. Francis too. And it's a turnover on a shot clock violation. Sydney Williams for 3, a little bit short. Rebound goes to Leah Sims. The first three-point attempt from Bethel today. More than half of their shots this season, by a significant margin, more than half of their shots have been three-point attempts, so expect a lot more of that as the game goes on. Caitlin Alward drives and kicks. Good ball movement for the Saints. Gieske not picked up, fires a 3, way off, offensive rebound. McDaniel puts it in. 4-2 St. Francis. Their first 2 baskets have both come off of offensive rebounds. Here's Bethel. Prince to DeBoy. DeBoy fakes, drives. DeBoy draws some contact, but the call is a held ball, I believe, going the other way. Such narrow faces St. Francis. Good defense by Jordan Pyle. And now we see a full court press for the first time today from Bethel. First time we've seriously seen it anyway. They've had a chance to set it up. Paige Gieske drives around it to the basket, an easy layup. Good drive from Gieske. By the time she got to the hoop, she was all alone. 6-2 St. Francis. 3 different players have scored. That's the first basket for Gieske. Drive from Kinker. The freshman turned away by Jordan Pyle, who saves it to Elwood. Great defense by Jordan Pyle. Second straight possession she's come up with a play. Leah Sims double teamed and dribbles around it. Gieske into the corner. McDaniel, three-point attempt. Too strong. Rebound Pyle. Offensive rebounds galore for the Fighting Saints in the first quarter. Alward fakes, drives, picks up her dribble. 3 defenders. She throws it up for grabs, and Leah Sims is on the receiving end. Three-point attempt is an air ball. Outside shooting has not been pretty for St. Francis early on. They've not only missed all of their three-point attempts, they've missed them really not close on any attempt. A couple of air balls early on, but they've got a 6-2 lead thanks to their offensive rebounding. Bethel trying to make it a one-possession game again. This is Taylor Pasquale, knocked away by Paige Gieske. Gieske has the steal, and on the other end, she's fouled. Trying to go coast to coast. She ends up going to the free throw line instead, and that's a pretty good consolation. Foul called on Pasquale. Turnover forced by Gieske as we see our first St. Francis substitute of the game. Allie Hernandez comes in. Leah Sims heads out. The foul on Pasquale is the first on Bethel. Gieske makes the first free throw. 3 points for Gieske, who entered play today, averaging a little bit better than 7 a game. She makes 1 of 2, going the other way. Nice cuts, and the layup misses from Alexa Markle. Good pass. Markle caught it in good position, was not able to finish, and Gieske is. Gieske set up by Caitlin Alward, the team's assists leader. Gieske's got 5 points already. 9-2 St. Francis, not yet 4 minutes in. Pasquale passes it over to Brickner. Kelsey Brickner picks up her dribble and passes back outside. Irwin for 3. That's short. Rebounded by Alward. Nearly 4 minutes in, and Bethel still has not scored from the field. Their only points are from the free throw line. McDaniel down the baseline, lays it up and in. It's a 9-0 run for St. Francis, who's got an 11-2 lead. Pasquale steps back, guarded by Gieske. Shoveled back to Brickner, three-pointer misses. Rebounded by Gieske, and Gieske wants to run. She slows things down. Good job by the Bethel defense getting back and covering up the break. McDaniel into the corner for Ali Hernandez. Hernandez wings it across to Alward. Three-point attempts, in and out. We've still not seen a three-pointer made by either team, but another offensive rebound. McDaniel this time, and she gets the long board, so no chance for the quick putback, as we've seen a couple of times before. But it does reset the possession for St. Francis. 8 to shoot. Alward lobs it in for Pyle. Jordan Pyle fights up with it and misses short. Rebound goes to Bethel. Pilots work quickly from left to right. It's Irwin, and Irwin is called for the travel. Indecision. She was trying to hand it off to Savannah Feenstra. Out of control with her body there and took an extra step. Justine Charlesworth checks in for St. Francis. And Leah Sims is back in as well. Rich Gieske sits down. So it's Pyle, Alward, Hernandez, Charlesworth, and Sims on the floor. Dribbling off to the left side, Ali Hernandez. Swung around to the right side, Leah Sims in possession. Charlesworth bounces once to Hernandez. Inside Charlesworth, off the glass, nope. Rebounded by Sydney Williams, and Leah Sims jumped into the passing lane as Williams tried to throw an outlet pass to Emma Prince. Leah Sims knocked it away, but out of bounds, so it does stay with Bethel. Emma Prince picked up by Sims. Pass was deflected, but found its target, D-Boy. Williams gets it inside, tipped away. Chased down though by Laleo, and on the drive, Laleo misses on the runner. The ball is loose, knocked out of bounds. Pass touched by the junior guard, Destiny Villaleo. St. Francis ball, and a new player for the Fighting Saints. Adriana Acosta is in. Jordan Pyle gets her first breather, 5.5 minutes in. Caitlin Alward's the only St. Francis player who's been out there the whole way. We're only 5.5 minutes into the game, so Steve Brooks is being very liberal with his bench usage early on in this one. Alward throws it away, but it was kicked, so it stays with St. Francis. Bethel plays a very fast-paced game, so expect to see both teams making a lot of subs. Obviously, we've already seen it from Bethel. They go 5 for 5 every minute or two. St. Francis, though, will probably work extra hard to keep all their players fresh as well. Leah Sims on the outside. This is on the three. Battle for the rebound, and it's won by Heimlich of Bethel. Emma Prince drives it into the teeth of the defense and backs it out. Heimlich for three. Off the side iron. Rebounded by Sims. Just a little lid on the basket. Both baskets on three-point attempts. Caitlin Alward tries to change that, and she does. Alward hits the three. Her first points of the game. It was awfully nice to see St. Francis up by 9 even before Alward had hit a single shot. She's produced a good majority of points, it seems, lately, as that ball ricochets out of bounds. Off the missed three from Villaleo. And now Caitlin Alward checks out. Lacey Gardner is into the game for St. Francis, so now we've seen all 5 starters take a rest already. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hernandez picked up by Caitlin Mulligan and throws it away. Turnover committed by the Saints. Bethel basketball, down big. 12-0 run after the game was tied at 2. And the run continues as Bethel misses on the three-pointer. Rebound lost out of bounds by Alexa Markle. Saints ball. Pilots press. Hernandez across to Sims, and they're over the timeline. Nice cut from Acosta, good find from Hernandez. Acosta not able to finish, gets her own rebound, misses her second attempt, and this time it's rebounded by Bethel. 2 chances from point-blank range for Acosta, couldn't get either of them to go. On the other end, the drive is a foul, a blocking foul called, as Caitlin Mulligan went to the hoop. Foul will send Mulligan to the line. It's the first on Lacey Gardner. Third on the team, but the first that they've committed in almost 7 minutes of game action.
Number 43, Lacey Gardner. Her first, team's third.
Taylor Pasquale is in for Bethel. Kelsey Brickner back out there. First free throw is good from Caitlin Mulligan. That snaps a 12-0 St. Francis run. It's been a long time since Bethel has converted from the field. In fact, it hasn't happened yet. Second free throw misses, rebounded by Acosta. So the Pilots now just 3 of 6 from the line in this game. Sims over to Hernandez on the right. Hernandez works her way around the perimeter and passes to Leah Sims. Sims gets a screen, picks up her dribble, looks inside for Acosta, who makes the catch. The ball knocked away from her out of bounds. Acosta was wide open inside. Sims was a little bit late in finding her, and that probably cost them 2 points, at least for the time being. They've still got the ball, though. Charlesworth finds Sims. 7 to shoot. Leah Sims drives left side, runner, no. Rebound, Gardner back up and in at the buzzer. Sims' runner missed the rim, so Gardner had to get it back up quickly. She did. 2 more second chance points for the Fighting Saints. Here's Brickner at the free throw line. She picks it up. Pass deflected, but it finds Irwin. 3-point attempt falls. First field goal of the game for Bethel. Badly needed it. Finally back on the board. And it's a 16-6 game. Justine Charlesworth passes up to Lacey Gardner. She'll try her hand at a 3. Rattles around and falls. 5 straight points for Lacey Gardner. Entering play tonight, Gardner has a season high of 13 points. She's got 5 in the last 30 seconds of game action. Leo tries to answer for 3, and it hops up off the rim and over the backboard out of bounds. 13-point lead for Steve Brooks' Fighting Saints. Gardner had the second chance bucket a few moments ago, and then a 3-pointer on the last possession. Not typically a big outside shooter, but wasn't really picked up. The 4th 3-pointer of the year. Sims dishes it inside to Acosta. Out to Charlesworth. Charlesworth drives. And we've got a foul call. Travel, I believe, was the call. Traveling on Charlesworth. Acosta checks out. Elward is back in. 61 seconds to play in the quarter. D-Boy. That's Sydney Williams. 14 to shoot, 3-point attempt, falls for Katie Kinker. Bethel has made 3-pointers on 2 of their last 3 possessions after they went 8 minutes without scoring from the field. Trying to keep this one in shouting distance, though, as they trail by only 10 points. That was kicked out of bounds. It stays with St. Francis. Adrian McDaniel is coming on for the Saints. And Allie Hernandez checks out. Steve Brooks continues to make substitutions regularly in this first quarter, keeping everybody fresh, or at least trying to. McDaniel up to Leah Sims. Only about a half second sits between the shot and game clocks right now, so St. Francis can hold on for 1 shot if they want it. Lobbed in for Caitlin Alward against a double team. Alward misses, battling for her own rebound, gets it, back up and a foul. More work on the offensive glass for St. Francis.
14, Maggie Thibault. Her first, team second.
Bethel's had a problem rebounding the basketball consistently this season. St. Francis taking advantage of that fact as Alward hits on the first free throw. Entered play today, averaging 18 points per game. She's got 4 now in this one. Give her 5. 21-9, 4 seconds to play. Across half court, fired towards the basket. Off the backboard, no good from Macy Heimlich, and that's the end of the first quarter. 21-9. Dominant start to this one for St. Francis. They'll try to carry it through at least to halftime, but we'll take a break right now before the second quarter begins. Saints by 12 here on the USF Sports Network.
For me, it was just love at first sight. I came here and I knew that the people here really cared.
That's their one goal, is to see you walk across that stage and to have a successful life.
The professors in the university really do prepare their students for the real world.
When I came here, I got my voice, I got my independence, I got that sense of I could make an impact. USF education isn't just teaching you what you need to know about your field. It's teaching you what you need to know to make the world a better place.
12-point lead for St. Francis as we get set to start the second quarter here in Joliet. Saints have not shot the ball well so far, which is all the more reason it's encouraging that they lead by 12 points. And a good portion of that has been based on offensive rebounds. So far, the Saints have 8 of them in the game. Bethel's got just 8 rebounds total. And the Fighting Saints, as a result, have 8 second chance points. So that's the biggest difference at the moment. The other difference, Bethel just can't shoot at the moment. 2 of 13 overall from the field. St. Francis is 2 for 10 from the outside, but they have gone 6 of 12 on 2-point baskets. And they've built a good-sized lead as a result, but Bethel's a team that can make a run in a hurry. They've been playing at a frenetic pace already, and the only reason their score is so low is because they haven't been making their shots. Caitlin Elwood doesn't let them have a shot this time. She jumps in and steals the pass. On the other end, she lays it in. 2 more for Caitlin Elwood, who's now got a game-high 7 points. Second steal of the game for the Fighting Saints defense. Irwin passes to Villaleo on this end of the floor. Pasquale. Out of bounds, knocked away from Pasquale by Justine Charlesworth. Charlesworth, McDaniel, Sims, Alward, and Gardner on the floor for the Fighting Saints. Same 5 who ended the first period. Irwin will be the inbounder. Gets it into Pasquale. Villaleo with 6 seconds to shoot. Irwin. Drive from Feenstra. Feenstra gets inside, scores, and draws the foul. With the shot clock at 1, Savannah Feenstra's got a chance at a 3-point play. Foul is the first on Shadreen McDaniel. Justine Charlesworth and Lacey Gardner come out. Gieske and Pyle are back in. So all 5 starters are back on the floor. Free throw rattles home. It's a 3-point play for Feenstra. 23-12. Gieske on the right side, guarded by Irwin. Dribbles left, passes right to Sims. Sims tries to bounce it down low for Alward, but it's stolen away. Good defense by Bethel that time. Brickner's the one who ended up with the steal. Brickner's in some trouble right now. She's able to bounce out of it, finding Savannah Feenstra. Down low, a good finish by Brickner. Strong cut. 5 straight points for Bethel. Howard lobs it down to the corner for Sims. Jordan Pyle drives, shovels it off to Alward. Baseline jumper, falls. Kaylin Alward now 3 of 7 from the field after starting 0 of 3. That ball's knocked out of bounds. Prince is back in. Heimlich, Williams, D-Boy, and Kinker. Kinker for 3. Air ball, and nobody can save it. It's out of bounds. St. Francis ball, 8:12 to play, first half. Here's Leah Sims passing it off to Alward. Gieske bounces down low for Pyle. Kicked outside into the corner. Leah Sims for three. Short. Rebounded by D-Boy. Prince's pass stolen by Leah Sims. Sims leads the charge the other way, and she loses the handle on the ball. Well defended by D-Boy, making sure she was able to pick that ball up. 11-point deficit for the team with the ball. It's a big possession. Drive and kick from Heimlich. Heimlich gets it back. 6 seconds to shoot. Prince thought about the deep one. She steps in and fires a short-range three instead. It's an air ball and therefore a shot clock violation. 5 more coming in for Bethel, trailing by 11. Caitlin Elward walks to the right. Lobbed in for Pyle, back outside McDaniel. Elward against the double team, fights it up with the right hand and in. Nice roll off the back iron from Caitlin Elward, who's got 11 points, first double-digit score. Brickner can't answer with a layup of her own, rebounded by Gieske. Leah Sims slows it down, 21 to shoot. Cut from McDaniel, the layup is good. Off the assist from Caitlin Elward. Elward entered play today with 3 assists per game, most on the Fighting Saints. Here's Brickner in the corner, three-pointer falls for Brickner. Brickner makes it once again a 12-point game. Bethel's not allowing St. Francis to run away at this point. Gieske in the corner. Bounce to Jordan Pyle, and Pyle lays it in. Saints have been moving the ball extremely well in this game. And there have been a lot of holes in the defense. Brickner drives, fights it up and misses. Rebound to Jordan Pyle. Pyle on the run to a cutting Elward. Elward gives it back outside. And both Gieske and Sims passed on the three. Instead, Paige Gieske has an easy two. Another assist for Elward. Paige Gieske lays it in. 7 points for Gieske. Elward comes up with a block, but it's knocked out of bounds. Bethel ball. Five new players are coming in for Bethel. They trail by 16 with just over 5 minutes to play in the half. Galileo bounces to D-Boy, stripped, out of bounds, stays with the team in blue. Inbounded to Heimlich, up top Galileo. Galileo throws it straight out of bounds. Gieske was on the defense there, but neither she nor the intended target could reach the ball. Lob down low for Elward. 3 defenders in a way. She kicks it outside. Jordan Pyle tries to get it inside. Pass deflected, but finds Shadrian McDaniel. 10 seconds to shoot. Pyle drives left side, pushes it off the glass. No, but a foul. First foul on Bethel in this second quarter. Jordan Pyle, 65% from the line, misses that one. So I guess now she's slightly worse than 65. Still in the neighborhood as she makes the second free throw. Heimlich to Villaleo, over to D-Boy. Bethel works it around the perimeter, setting up a deep three for Emma Prince. Prince, 5'8" sophomore from New Mexico, from New Madison, a little bit far away from Mexico, or New Mexico for that matter. Jordan Pyle into Elward against a double team. Elward gets the foul. Foul is called on Heimlich. So she checks out along with the rest of her team. Saints bring Allie Fernandez back in. Allie Hernandez getting her second stint of action today. First free throw falls for Caitlin Elward. 12 points for the senior star. Now she's got 13. Into the left corner. Dribble outside by Ruth Faxon. Faxon chases this ball down. 10 on the shot clock. Cross court Markle. Fires down low. Pass tipped away, saved, but right to Jordan Pyle. Pyle's got one-on-one, and Pyle's not able to finish. Elward came in looking for the rebound, but called, I believe, for a loose ball foul.
Bethel foul number 12, Alexa Markle.
Foul is the first on Alexa Markle. It is apparently a non-shooting foul. Elward kicks into the corner. McDaniel for three. That's too strong. Bethel's used up half their shot clock already. Markle. Pass deflected out of bounds. Still Bethel ball. 4 new players come in for Bethel. 1 new player comes in for the Saints. Gieske sits down. Justine Charlesworth is in for her. Just under 3 minutes to play until halftime. Brickner from the outside. Passes around to the right. Irwin, 1 on the shot clock. They don't see it. That's a shot clock violation. Emma Prince was the last one to touch the ball. Actually, I take that back. It was Savannah Feenstra was the last one to touch it. She received the pass with only 2 on the shot clock and obviously didn't see it, was not in shooting position as she made the grab. Saints have a big lead. They would like to finish the first half strong though. Pyle across court, Hernandez. Elward throws it away, looking for Justine Charlesworth. 2 of them were not on the same page, so it's turnover out of bounds. Here's Brickner, back to Feenstra. Taylor Pasquale guarded by Hernandez. That's a travel. Jennifer Irwin is called for the travel. Picked up her pivot foot and dragged it along the floor. It's an honest mistake, but a clear mistake. That's St. Francis basketball. Up by 16. Charlesworth across half court. Elward, another 3, good. 2 3-pointers for Kaylin Elward tonight. 16 points in the first half for the All-American. Now can Bethel answer? Whistle blows, we got a held ball. Possession arrow faces St. Francis this time with 1:39 to play, first half. Howard flies it across court to Ali Hernandez, who misses on the three. Acosta battling for that rebound, but she loses out on it. Prince comes away with it instead, and Prince steps into an air ball on the other end. He's looking for 3 points, ended up with none. Ali Hernandez passes to the left. Jordan Pyle across court, Allard for three, good. Caitlin Elward's feeling hot tonight. 3 from beyond the arc for Caitlin Elward. She's got 19 points in the first half. 3-pointer for the answer. Misses from Feenstra, and it's one and done for the Pilots. Saints been doing a good job of clearing up the boards. Pyle, no-look pass across court to Elward. Another 3. Another one for Elward. She's made 4 from the outside, and Caitlin Elward has 22 points in the first half. That pass deflected out of bounds. 22.8 seconds remain until halftime. Shot clock is at 21, so if they chose to, Bethel could just run out this clock, try to score one more time, and then be happy with what they've been able to accomplish here at the end. Most of the first half has not gone their way. Pasquale loses it. Picked up by Hernandez. 5 seconds to play. Charlesworth's got to act quickly. Over to Jordan Pyle. Deep 3 for Pyle. That's off, and so are we. We're off until the start of the second half, about 15 minutes from now. St. Francis has a big lead on Bethel, 45-25. And the Fighting Saints will try to finish it off with a win in our final 20 minutes. But those aren't coming up for another 15 or so minutes of halftime. Right now, I'll step aside. Back with the second half in a bit. St. Francis basketball here on the USF Sports Network.
The University of St. Francis really has made a very positive impact on my life. I've made some of my best friends here, grown as a person, and I feel it has given me the tools to have a successful career.
USF has a very warm and welcoming atmosphere, and it was something I couldn't get at any other school that I visited.
It just felt like I was at home as soon as I stepped on campus.
Being located in Joliet, it's kind of like a hidden gem. It's not too far from home, but it's far enough where you can get that kind of getaway college experience that people want. It's a good little college community.
The thing I love most about University of St. Francis is the staff. They're always there for you day or night. You're not just another statistic to them. You're important to them. They know your name, and their one goal is to see you walk across that stage and to have a successful life.
The love and support that you get from these professors is beyond just in the classroom, and that endless support from them is exactly what I need to become the person that I want to be. USF does a lot for their students to ensure that they have the best education possible. That means hands-on experiences, state-of-the-art technology, internships, or on-campus jobs. They want to make sure that you are prepared for whatever you want to do in your life.
Having that hands-on experience that St. Francis provides, I am able to feel confident, and I do feel confident that when I graduate, I will have learned what I needed to have a successful career. The professors and the university really do prepare their students for the real world.
Coming in my first year at St. Francis, we helped the community. That was the first thing that we did, and that opened up my eyes to what St. Francis was really about. They wanted to make me a better person, help me get my education, and help the community around me.
When I came here, I got my voice, I got my independence, I got that sense of I can make an impact. USF education isn't just teaching you what you need to know about your field. It's teaching you what you need to know to make the world a better place.
I think One of the biggest things that I will take away from here once I graduate is that I will always have a home here. The university as a whole welcomes our alumni. They say that once you're a Saint, you're always a Saint.
Back at St. Francis here in the Sullivan Center as the Fighting Saints have a healthy lead over Bethel University right now. 45-20 is our score. The Saints jumped out to a big early advantage. 14-12 they were up in the first couple of minutes. And in fact, it was almost 8 minutes into the game before Bethel scored their first basket from the field. Their first 4 points all came on free throws. And the Saints built that big lead while struggling to shoot the basketball. In the second quarter, they picked up their shooting. They went 9 of 14 from the field in the second, and so they ballooned that lead all the way from 12 at the end of the first quarter to where it sits right now at 25. Let's look at some of the individual numbers through the first half of play. Caitlin Alward, the star of stars so far, 22 points on 7 of 10 shooting, including 4 of 6 from three-point range. She's also got a team-high 3 assists at the moment. Jordan Pyle and Adriana Acosta lead the way with 4 rebounds apiece. As for Bethel, Jessica Irwin and Kelsey Brickner are tied for the team lead at 5 points apiece. And Katie Kinker has 2 rebounds to lead the Pilots to this point. But it's been all St. Francis in this one. They have outshot Bethel 47% to 26%. Bethel just 4 of 16 on 3-point attempts so far. And if St. Francis can play anywhere close to the level they were at in the first half, this would be a cakewalk. Bethel needs to turn up the shooting as they get started with the ball here in the second half. They've switched sides. Bethel now going from right to left, and they'll try to open up the half with a 3 and hit it. Taylor Pasquale hits the 3-point attempt, just the 5th made 3 of the game for Bethel. This is a team that shoots close to 60% of their shots from beyond the arc for the season. Today has been no exception, but just without very much success. They were 4 of 16 in the first half. Caitlin Alward against the double team draws a foul. I mentioned Alward's numbers for the first half, 4 of 6 from the outside, 7 of 10 overall. She also went 4 for 4 from the free throw line. She's got a chance to add a couple of more from the stripe right here. Alward misses on her first free throw attempt. That's her first miss from the line today. Alward entered play averaging 18 points per game, more than twice as many as her next closest teammate. She's already above her average, up to 23 points now for the game. Alward has been very good at home this season, averaging 23 points per game. She's hit that number exactly. Bethel basketball. This is Taylor Pasquale passing it off to Kelsey Brickner. 3-point attempt misses from Savannah Feenstra, and the rebound goes to St. Francis. Sims off to Shadrian McDaniel. McDaniel is harried by Pasquale, passes it off to her right. Now lob down low for Alward, 1 dribble, layup is good. 25 for the senior Caitlin Alward. Spinning to the basket, shot misses, it was blocked by Shadrian McDaniel. Loose ball picked up by Jordan Pyle. Pyle bounces it outside and intercepted by Irwin. Irwin tries to take it all the way, and she's fouled by McDaniel. McDaniel blocked the shot of Destiny Galileo on the last possession. This time looking for another stop, but she's called for the foul. Second foul on McDaniel, and it brings some subs off of Doug Porter's bench. Sydney Williams, number 35, back on the floor with number 22, Katie Kinker, the freshman, one of many freshmen playing big minutes for this team. Irwin misses on the free throw. Jessica Irwin's one of the old timers on the team, a junior. Not a single senior on the roster. Irwin bounces the second free throw in. 48-24 is the score. That's Emma Prince checking in now for Irwin. Bethel entered play today with a 6-8 record. They have played a really tough schedule. This is their 7th game already out of 15 in which they have played a top 25 opponent. McDaniel lobs it down low against a triple team. Alward gets it back to McDaniel, who misses on the 3. Rebound goes to Bethel. Bethel plays 6 freshmen, true freshmen. They've got a couple of redshirt freshmen in the rotation as well. So 8 freshman players as McDaniel's called for a foul on Sydney Williams. Second foul that McDaniel's picked up in just the last couple of minutes. It's her third foul for the game, and she checks out. Justine Charlesworth comes in. 2 free throws coming for Williams. 10 of 14 from the line this year, but she misses on the first. St. Francis doubling up Bethel early in the second half. Williams makes the second. 1 of 2 from the line. Bethel does not put on the full court press. Leah Sims walks it casually across half court and hands it off to Caitlin Elward. Here's Gieske. Elward with 17 on the shot clock, guarded on the outside by Williams, pulls up, passes down into the corner, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Emma Prince. Prince speeds things up, kicks it in to the corner, and that's D-Boy. Now Bethel slows things down a bit. Thrown away, Macy Heimlich tried to get it down low, but about 3 feet too high for everybody. Sailed out of bounds, and it's a turnover. Timeout called by St. Francis. 30-second timeout with 7:25 to play in the third quarter. The Saints lead the Pilots 48-25. Caitlin Elward has now more than half of St. Francis's points, 25 out of their 48. Bethel is trying to make a comeback, but they haven't been able to protect the basketball well enough. They're shooting it a little bit better so far in this second half, although their attempts in the second half have been limited, thanks to those turnovers that I mentioned a moment ago. St. Francis has kept the defense up. The Fighting Saints have converted just once from the field in the second half. All 3 points since halftime belong to Elward. Comes Leah Sims. Out of the timeout, it is St. Francis basketball. Sims up top to Elward. Drive and kick to Leah Sims. 3-pointer is good. Leah Sims hits her first outside shot of the game. Prior to that, minus Caitlin Elward, the Saints had been just 1 of 11 from the 3-point line and beyond. As this 3 misses for Feenstra. Rebound is knocked out of bounds. Gardner comes in for Elward. 20 on the shot clock. It is Bethel basketball. Feenstra to inbound. Gets it into Irwin. Irwin sets things up. Brickner drives, kicks into the corner. Irwin. 4 seconds to shoot. Irwin double dribbled it. Very awkward ball handling that time. There were only 3 seconds on the shot clock at the time of the double dribble. Didn't really look to be close to getting a good shot up. So good defense from St. Francis, and Bethel kind of panicked. Saints ball up big. Leah Sims bounces it to Gardner. Back out to Sims. Sims drives down the lane, floater, bounces off the front end and rolls through. Nice touch from Leah Sims, 53-25 Saints. Sims has the last 5 points. She had not scored prior to that. Foul is called on Lacey Gardner. Actually, that's Justine Charlesworth who gets called for the foul. First foul on Charlesworth. It's the 3rd on St. Francis, and it sets up 2 free throws for Emma Prince. First shot is good. Mentioned Bethel's previous schedule. This is their 7th game against the top 25 team. Prince misses on the 2nd free throw. They're going to have some tough tests coming up as well. Today's the start of a run of 5 games in a row against teams that are either ranked or receiving votes, as Charlesworth misses on the jumper. Good fake from Charlesworth, but couldn't finish the play as the rebound is knocked out of bounds by the Fighting Saints. Heimlich inside via Yeo. Drive from Heimlich again. Back to D-Boy. D-Boy drives and draws the foul. Saints have been a little too handsy on defense so far in the second half. It's already the fourth foul committed by St. Francis. Adriana Acosta comes in for Paige Gieske. Acosta in the first half played only 6 minutes but had 4 rebounds. D-Boy makes the free throw. Free throws are keeping Bethel relatively within range here as D-Boy hits them both. Haven't had a whole lot of success shooting the basketball, but they've gotten a lot of attempts from the line. Charlesworth. Around to Leah Sims. With Gardner on the inside. Gardner lays it in off the assist from Jordan Pyle. Pyle's got 4 assists to tie her up with Kaylin Elwood for the team lead. 3-point attempt, air ball from Emma Prince. Actually, Jordan Pyle and Caitlin Elwood entered play today, tied for the team lead in assists, averaging 3 per game each. From the 2 forwards on the roster, or in the starting lineup. Tied for the team lead in assists, you don't see that very often. Costa hands it off to Sims. Sims spins around one defender, bounces it down low to Gardner. Layup, no, but a foul. Been talking a lot about Caitlin Elwood and her dominant play, 25 points so far, but Lacey Gardner's having one of the best games she's played all year as well. She's been the number 2 scorer today for St. Francis with 7 points, tied with Paige Gieske for second on the ball club, and now she moves ahead of Gieske with her 8th point. Misses on the second free throw, and it's rebounded by Bethel. Ruth Faxon came away with it. Caitlin Mulligan works her way down the floor, and the ball is deflected out of bounds. It stays with the Pilots. St. Francis once again doubling up Bethel. Mulligan lobs it in. Sierra Miller passes to Faxon. Now a 3-pointer for Kinker is good. Katie Kinker rattles one home. She's got her first 3 of the game. Leah Sims on the runner, off the back iron, no good. It's the second 3-pointer of the game for Katie Kinker on the other end. She's got 6 points now. As for St. Francis, Leah Sims has had an excellent third quarter so far. Did not score in the first half. She's got 5 points in this period, and she's at the line trying to add 2 more. She'll try to add 1 more anyway. Sims had been 7 of 8 at the line coming in. So she's an 80% shooter on free throws now. Here's Markle. Over to Ruth Faxon. Faxon drives from the left side, blocked by Jordan Pyle. Big block there by Pyle, who has not had much of an impact on the offensive end, but at least scoring-wise, she's had a very well-rounded game statistically today. Justine Charlesworth sends it into the corner to Gardner. 3-point attempt. Gardner off the mark. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Justine Charlesworth. 3:58 to go in the third quarter. A new 5 on the floor for Bethel. A new 1 on the floor for St. Francis. Ellie Hernandez is the new point guard in place of Leah Sims. Sims checks out with 6 points in the game. Here comes Irwin. Brickner looking for help. Finds it up top in the form of Pasquale, who drives, kicks it back. Brickner, nice drive, can't finish. Missed on the runner from about 6 feet. Here come the Saints. Allie Hernandez across half court, gives it to Acosta. Adriana Acosta hands it to Charlesworth. Crossover to the left. Back outside. 12 to shoot. Jordan Pyle traveled. took the step, was not in position then to do anything quickly with the ball, so she stopped before looking for the pass. And that's a travel, so it's a turnover committed by St. Francis. Speaking of turnovers, we've got an offensive foul on Bethel. Foul called on Destiny Villaleo. First foul on Villaleo. The fourth on the team, so both sides are at the limit with over 3 minutes to play in the quarter. Gardner passes to Charlesworth. Bounced inside. Gardner working her way to the hoop. She adds 2 more. 10 points for Lacey Gardner, second time this season that she's been in double figures. Leo passes to the left side. This is Brickner stepping back, thinking about the 3. Passes to Irwin instead. Over to Villaleo. Up top, Pasquale. 10 on the shot clock. Brickner drives, splits the double team, misses too hard off the glass, and the rebound goes to Jordan Pyle. Charlesworth slows it down. Saints have been going with mostly subs on the floor so far in this third quarter. Jordan Pile's the only starter in. She passes off to Gardner. Charlesworth, the sophomore guard, in some trouble with 6 on the shot clock. She's able to pass it off to Hernandez, who just does make the catch, steps inside the 3-point line, misses the jumper, but an offensive rebound for Acosta. Now drive Pyle, dishes it off to Acosta, who lays it up and in. Another assist for Jordan Pyle, and Adriana Acosta has her first 2 points of the afternoon. Step back 3, Brickner rattles it home. 8 points in the ball game for Kelsey Brickner, junior out of Goshen, Indiana. Acosta lets this play develop. Shot clock is at 16 as Charlesworth receives it up top, fakes, and passes off. Gardner bounces to a cutting Charlesworth, who's blocked, but a foul is called. See if they got Brickner or Feenstra here. It's on Savannah Feenstra. Sub coming on for the Fighting Saints. Josie Graffio is in for Lacey Gardner. Gardner checks out with 10 points. It's their second highest point total this year. She came in averaging 3.5 points per contest. Charlesworth hits on the first free throw. And for Justine Charlesworth, that's the first points of the game. And now she's got 2. 63-34, St. Francis. Just over a minute to play in the third quarter. This is Emma Prince dribbling it and handing it to the left. That's Heimlich. Cross-court D-boy for 3, good. Bethel's not going down quietly. Still down by 26 points, but they're starting to get that outside game going a little bit. This has been far and away their most productive quarter of the game. Jordan Pyle off to Charlesworth. Charlesworth pulls up at the free throw line. Underhand pass to Graffio. Shot clock under 10. Acosta fakes left, drives right, back to Graffio for 3, in and out. Rebounded by D-Boy. Good look for Josie Graffio. Went halfway, couldn't quite finish. 3-point attempt for Kinker falls. That's her third 3 ball of the game. 63-40 is the score. St. Francis will try to get the last points of the quarter. 5 seconds. Graffio for 3. Off the mark, rebounded by Bethel, and that'll do it for the third. Good quarter for Bethel as they held serve, but that's not nearly enough at this stage of the game. St. Francis built a big lead at halftime. They still lead big. 63-40 is our score. 10 minutes of basketball still to be played. We'll get that 10 minutes to you in just a moment. Right now, a quick break. It's St. Francis basketball taking on Bethel on a Monday afternoon here on the USF Sports Network.
It's a small school, but it's mighty in that it changes your life when you go here. The experiences that I gained and the life lessons that I learned while I was here are something that I continue to carry with me. I'm proud to hold 4 degrees from the university. I wouldn't have gone back time and time again if I didn't think that this was a quality education.
No matter where you are in life, with the right people, the right school, and the right support, you can do anything.
Your career is limitless after you go to the University of St. Francis.
St. Francis up 63-40 as we prepare for the fourth quarter of play. The Fighting Saints were up by 25 points at the half. Bethel shot the ball much better in the third quarter than they have throughout the game. 5 of 8 on 3-pointers in the third quarter for Bethel. They had been 4 of 16 in the first half. St. Francis has brought their starters back on the floor to try to put this game away early on in this fourth quarter. They've got another one tomorrow afternoon. So if they can rest their starters a little bit more down the stretch, I'm sure Steve Brooks would love to do that as Alward fights to the basket, doesn't quite get the roll, but gets to the free throw line. Alward's been the star of the game today with 25 points, one of 2 players in double figures. The other is Lacey Gardner with 10 points. Those 2 players have gone a combined 12 of 16 from the field. Alward misses on the free throw. The rest of the team is shooting right around 35% right now. Alward makes the second free throw, so it hasn't been a banner shooting day for the Saints other than Alward and Gardner, but those 2 players have made up for a lot of poor shooting from around the roster. As that is an air ball on a 3, speaking of poor shooting. A tie-up on the rebound, and the ball sticks with Bethel. It has not been a shooting clinic today. We've seen Bethel fire them up from the outside a lot. About 2/3 of their attempts have been 3-pointers. They've made 38% of them, thanks almost entirely to a productive third quarter. Because other than that, they're struggling from the outside. Irwin. Picked up by Feenstra. Leo passes it off. Down low, blocked by Shadrian McDaniel. She turns away Kelsey Brickner, and the Saints are on the run. Elwood down low to Gieske, and she traveled. Pass just a little bit too hard from Elwood, I think, for Gieske, as it carried her beyond the basket, so she had to reposition her feet before going up with the layup, and that is what caused the turnover. Emma Prince for the Pilots. Swung around left side. Prince gets it back, a right wing 3-pointer. Another air ball. Saved from going out of bounds, and the putback is good. Williams saved it, and ultimately it was Heimlich who was able to make the basket. 64-42 St. Francis. McDaniel kicks it outside. Gieske in the corner. Paige Gieske steps back, passes outside to Leah Sims. Pyle lobs it down low for Elwood. One dribble, back up, no. Rebound for Bethel. Prince off to Heimlich. Heimlich drives baseline off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. It was tapped out by St. Francis on the block, so with 22 on the shot clock, it'll still be Bethel basketball. 8:13 to play in the fourth quarter. Heimlich into Williams. Williams backs in on Pyle. Turnaround, foul. Looks like Jordan Pyle got her on the elbow, so Sydney Williams heads back to the free throw line.
St. Francis foul number 33.
4 new players come in for Bethel. They'll get the shooter after the first shot. It's only the first foul on Jordan Pyle. Neither team is really in any sort of foul trouble. Shadrian McDaniel has 3. Williams misses on the first free throw, but the big lead, that's not as big a concern. Most of St. Francis's starters spent the majority of the third quarter on the bench. Markle comes in. Williams checks out after making 1 of 2. Bethel made a little run on St. Francis's bench as Gieske lays it in off a beautiful feed from Elwood. Paige Giesche's got 9 points. These are her first, though, in a while. She scored 7 in the first quarter. Foul called on McDaniel. That's her fourth, and it's another shooting foul. Jessica Irwin goes to the line for 2 free throws. Irwin's first free throw rolls off the front iron and in. Second shot good from Irwin. 66-45 our score. Pyle dribbles it off to the left side. Handoff, Shadrian McDaniel. She drives along the baseline, pulls up, passes outside. Into the corner, three-pointer off the glass. No from Gieske. And the rebound to the Pilots. Lob down the floor for Markle, and Leah Sims plays cornerback and knocks that ball away. Good defense by Sims. Bethel does get a chance now to get their offense set up, but that eliminates any fast break opportunities. Markle bounces it down low. Brickner backs in on Gieske, up and in. Brickner into double figures. First Pilots to do so. She's got 10 points. Sims throws it down low, and it's lost out of bounds. Timeout called by St. Francis with 7:10 to play in the fourth quarter. The Fighting Saints lead is 66-47, a good lead, but it has slowly slipped away. Their biggest advantage in this game has been 30, and since then Bethel has chipped away at it. I don't know that they have enough time. I shouldn't say that they don't have enough time. They certainly do have enough time to erase a 19-point deficit in 7 minutes and 10 seconds, because this is a team that fires up three-pointers like it's their job, which I guess it kind of is, at least as far as Doug Porter is concerned. Bethel's defense has picked it up as well, as we see Leah Sims pull the ball out of bounds. Some miscommunication with Paige Gieske. The Saints just been out of sorts here in this fourth quarter, and part of that is, again, the starters spent a good portion of the third quarter on the bench. Steve Brooks got some reserves in. We saw a lot of Allie Hernandez, a lot of Justine Charlesworth, Lacey Gardner. Josie Graffio came in for the last few minutes as well. And I don't know that the Fighting Saints took their foot off the gas pedal, but the starters, since returning, just haven't had the same flow we saw from them earlier in the game. We do see a sub come in right now. First time today that Kaylin C.S. Cheney has been on the floor. Other than that, the starters remain in. C.S. Cheney is in for Shadrian McDaniel, who now has 4 fouls. Emma Prince gets it across half court for Bethel. Villaleo. Prince lobs it down low for Williams, deflected away. Stolen by Leah Sims. Sims sends it off to Elward. Elward's been quiet of late. Bounced out to Jordan Pyle. Good ball movement into the corner for Leah Sims. She pulls it back out and they reset. Half the shot clock is gone. It's Elward off the feed from Sims. Floats it up and misses. Rebounded by DeBoy. Prince poked out from behind by C.S. Cheney, out of bounds. And that was last touched by Heimlich. Good defense by Kaylin C.S. Cheney. She pushed the ball out of the hands of the offensive player from behind. And when Macy Heimlich went to save it, toes touched the line. Didn't need to save it. It would have been out on C.S. Cheney. Three-pointer misses from Sims, but the rebound for C.S. Cheney. Back to the basket, lays it up and in. And C.S. Cheney has provided a spark off the bench in the last minute. She forced a turnover on one end of the floor, and a rebound and a layup on the other side. Sydney Williams backs up, passes to her right. Galileo passes off to Heimlich. Three-pointer misses. Rebound won by Jordan Pyle. Ahead for Leah Sims. Sims has to slow it down. Rolled out for C.S. Cheney. Kaylin Elward was looking for a pass, now decides to take the shot and hits the long two. Initially looked out for Jordan Pyle and then realized D-Boy was giving her a lot of space on defense, so Elward just decided to take the shot herself. She's got 29 points now. D-Boy drives to the free throw line, cuts to the right, gives it off to Villaleo. Long two-point jumper misses, and it's rebounded by Paige Gieske. Gieske running for the Saints, runs into the defense though, so she slows it down. C.S. Cheney dishes it off to Gieske, gets it right back. Now Pyle for three, and Jordan Pyle hits the three-pointer. Timeout called by St. Francis to get some subs in. It's a 30-second timeout, 4:42 to play, 26-point lead for the Fighting Saints, and it has been a well-played contest today for St. Francis. After that last time out, obviously Steve Brooks felt like things were slipping away from his team a little bit. Not as though Bethel was knocking on the door of pulling off the comeback, but when a 30-point lead falls down to 19, you want to find some kind of spark, and there's your spark right there, Kaylin C.S. Cheney. She's got an offensive rebound, a bucket, a steal, and right there an assist for Jordan Pyle hitting the three-pointer. And now with the 7-0 run, Steve Brooks clears the bench once again. We see some new players. Rexisha Hollis is out there as the ball is lobbed down low and knocked away by the Saints. Kaylin C.S. Cheney on the move, loses the handle on the ball, and it's picked up by Bethel. Here comes Feenstra. Feenstra runs down towards Lacey Gardner and is called for the double dribble. Josie Graffio is back in the game for the Fighting Saints. And a Switek's in as well. And she's got the ball right now. Sent off to Graffio in the corner. Graffio drives the baseline, banks it in, and a little bit too hard. Off the rim, no good. Coming the other way. This is Feenstra. Feenstra forces it up, misses, gets her own rebound and scores. Good work by Savannah Feenstra to stay with it and get the 2 points. Here's Gardner, lays it up and in. Nice feed by Graffio. Lacey Gardner's got 12 points, leading the bench squad tonight. St. Francis has gotten 16 off their bench for the game. Make that 18 points off their bench. There's a drive and a travel. Traveling called on Jessica Irwin. And then the ball is turned back over to the Saints. St. Francis is playing with all of their reserves now with a big lead late. Bethel kind of is too, but they have been all game. They go about 13 players deep regularly during a game, getting 10 minutes or more per contest, and so they're going to keep shuffling their reserves and their starters down to the wire here, even with a big deficit. Hollis, three-pointer, no. Rebound chased down by Sydney Williams. Heimlich blocked by Graffio, but a foul called on Graffio. We're going to see some free throws here.
St. Francis foul number 12, Josie Graffio.
Josie Graffio's first foul. Macy Heimlich is on the line, and she makes the first free throw. 75 to 50. Second free throw attempt is good as well. Bethel continues to pour them in from the free throw line, and that's been their primary source of offense lately. They've not shot the ball all that well today. Hollis circles the basket and banks it in. Nice drive, strong finish. Rexisha Hollis, her first 2 points. Three-point attempt, Heimlich, no. Rebound tapped around and brought in by Emma Prince. It's P-R-I-N-T-Z, Prince. Lob down low, and a foul is called. Sydney Williams is going to the line. Third time today that Sydney Williams has been fouled, and she's been able to get some free throws out of it. Williams has 2 points in the game, both of them on foul shots. Asia Hudson is in for Bethel. First time that we've seen Hudson. First free throw falls. I think that means we have seen Bethel's entire roster by now. Two of two at the line for Williams, and now she departs. Ruth Faxon comes back in. 2:20 to play. St. Francis is on the verge of their 10th consecutive NAIA win. That's a streak that was broken up by Lewis, a Division II school. Beat them here a couple of weeks ago. Turnaround misses from Lacey Gardner, rebounded by the Pilots. Caitlin Mulligan dishes it off. Villaleo misses on the three, out of bounds, and it's going the other way. It's not a 10-game winning streak for St. Francis because they did have that loss to D2 Lewis on December the 18th, but you take that one away, this would be their 10th straight win, and that's what really counts, your record against NAIA opponents, as Lacey Gardner lays it in. It's a new season high for her. Gardner's got 14 points. She's had a really nice game, not just here in garbage time. She had some big points back in the first half. Foul is called once again on St. Francis. They're over the limit. Second foul on Kaylin C.S. Cheney. 2 free throws coming up. First one rolls in. That's the first point of the game for Sierra Miller. 28th point of the season for Miller, who's gotten limited action tonight. Second free throw rims out. Ball was loose for a second. Rexisha Hollis picked it up. Down low for Hannah Switek. Nice dish to Josie Graffia, who's blocked by Asia Hudson. And we've got a tie-up. The block results in a held ball, and it will stay with St. Francis. Ball is inbounded to C.S. Cheney. Kaylin C.S. Cheney to the hoop. Nice touch by Kaylin C.S. Cheney. Laid that one in for her third and fourth points. And aggressive defense from Rexisha Hollis. Loose ball picked up by Josie Graffio. 2-on-1. Hollis takes it in herself and draws the foul. 27-point lead for the Saints in the final minute, and Hollis will try to add 2 more from the line. Rexisha Hollis, 4 of 8 on foul shots this year. Hollis is not typically used for big minutes off the bench, but we've seen her provide some big offense in spurts this year. She hits on the first free throw and has 3 points. There's the foul on Sierra Miller. Hollis scored 11 against Calumet St. Joseph, and then same thing against Judson back on December the 7th. She's got 4 points now tonight. Mulligan kicks it outside. 3-point attempt for Faxon off the backboard. No, long rebound, still loose, and picked up by Hannah Switek. She takes it the other way, lays it up and in. First 2 points of the game for the freshman Hannah Switek. Final 30 seconds now. Off the glass from Hudson, no, gets her own rebound. Switek blocks it out of bounds. And it stays with Bethel here with 5 seconds differentiating the shot and game clocks. Drive from Miller, forces it up off the front iron, no, rebounded by Gardner. And now the Saints can just dribble out the clock here. Bethel will continue to put the pressure on defensively as Switek gets it across half court. Kaylin C.S. Cheney receives the pass, and now Bethel calls off the defense. C.S. Cheney dribbles it out for the final few seconds, and the Saints will pick up an 85-54 victory here. St. Francis wins their 10th straight against NAIA opponents, and they start the week off strong as they've got 2 more coming up this week, including 1 more here on this court tomorrow afternoon. Nice win for St. Francis today against A team that came in figuring to present a pretty good challenge, and Bethel just didn't have their shooters going early on in this one. That allowed St. Francis to develop a big lead early on, and once they had that big lead, St. Francis was able to coast on their way to a 25-point halftime lead and ultimately a 31-point victory, 85-54, the final score in this one. The win improved St. Francis to 12-3 overall for the season, and Bethel falls to 6-9 as they drop another one to a ranked opponent. They've had their tough spells this year, a young team playing against a difficult schedule. And the Saints are able to take advantage of that today, as I'm joined by the head coach of the Fighting Saints, Mr. Steve Brooks. Coach, big win today. You jumped out to a big first quarter lead and really never looked back. What was the key to the fast start?
I think our defense, I think our kids came out and defended them hard. I think they had like 2 points for the longest time. I don't know for sure, but I felt like our defensive intensity was really good in that first quarter, and it kind of set a tone for the game.
Certainly coming into the game with an 11-3 record against a team that has been struggling at times this year. Bethel came in with a 6-8 record. You had to figure that you had the advantage in this one, but anytime you're playing a team that has that unusual style of play like Bethel does, they offer different challenges than you might get in other contests. You were able to really hamper that early on, and how important was that for the team?
I think it was really important, and not having the experience, yet playing against, they're not full out Tiger ball yet. He's in his first year, and, they didn't come out and try to trap and all that, but, I thought we handled the press well. At halftime, we only had 4 turnovers or 5 turnovers, so, that was big, that was good. I thought we took good shots. This is definitely something that I can, hopefully build off of with the kids to try to build some confidence as we move forward.
You talked before the game about developing that secondary score, and of course Caitlin Elwood had another huge game today, but you got some good contributions from the supporting cast as well. Paige Gieske jumped out to a great start, 7 points in the first quarter. Lacey Gardner came to life a little bit in that second period as well. How impressive was that supporting cast today?
I'm not, let me look here, and where are we at? Lacey ended up with 14, and that's something that, we were hopeful when we recruited her that she would be able to produce and give us some of that kind of offense. We still have, the other kids. I still think Jordan Pyle is one of the best players at our level. She's definitely one of the most athletic kids, and I think she's diverse enough where she could be a threat, needs to be a threat. But, I'm excited about this. We just got to take a deep breath, regroup, because we have one of the reasons why we scheduled this the way we did is if we do get the opportunity to play in the tournament, we're going to have short turnaround times, and now we've got a short turnaround time. We'll see how well they take care of themselves tonight, and then, get ready to play again at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Coach Steve Brooks, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Steve Brooks, the head coach of the Fighting Saints, with the 85-54 victory today. Take a look at some of the final numbers. This one, Caitlin Elwood led the way, 29 points. Jordan Pyle had a big game as well. Finished with only 7 points, but 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. Paige Gieske finished with 9 points, 4 rebounds today. And Lacey Gardner, season high, 14 points for the Fighting Saints. With the win, they are now 12-3 on the season. And as you just heard the coach say, quick turnaround, 1 o'clock start tomorrow. They'll be right here at home tomorrow. 3 games this week, in fact. They've got the 1 o'clock start time tomorrow against Indiana East, and then this Saturday at Calumet St. Joseph. So it's a big week for St. Francis basketball. But we'll be right here again tomorrow afternoon, so hopefully you'll join us through GoFightingSaints.com. Again, final score today, 85-54, St. Francis victorious. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off from St. Francis. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you next time.